Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Yellow Tokens. My name is Bruno, I'm one of the founders, and I'm here to help you with your onboarding. So let's get started. If you're watching this video, you've just created a free account on Yellow Tokens. When you do that, you land on the My Projects page. This page shows you all the projects you have access to. When you create a free account on Yellow Tokens, you get access to a welcome project, which is a project created by us at Yellow Tokens together with leading companies from various sectors, with the goal of showing you how the platform works before you decide whether to purchase a paid business account subscription. A business account subscription allows you to monitor the company's products and establishments you want, whether from your own company or your competitors. You can also have more than one project and invite other users to your account. If you want to do that, click on this red banner at the top of the screen or on the menu item up here. But let's get to it. To analyze the data and insights of a specific project, click on this blue arrow icon next to that particular project. When you do that, you land on the feedback screen. This screen shows you all in one place everything that has been collected from the establishments, from the products, if it's a product project, and from the companies in your project. These are the raw feedbacks that were collected from the main digital platforms. If you select Establishment here, you'll see the feedback that was given to the physical establishments in your project. If you select Company here, you'll see the feedback that was given to the companies in your project. If your project is about a product, you can also select Product here and see the feedback that was given to the products in your project. Here in one place, you have feedback from various digital platforms about your company and your competitors. Cool. And to help you understand the main topics that were mentioned, you can access these pages here on the left under Main Topics. If you click here, you'll see the main topics that were found for the companies in your project. This will give you a comparative view so you can see in relation to your company and your competitors which topics are mentioned the most. For example, high price. We have 3 mentions that were found about Burger King and 5 about McDonald's, and so on. You can keep scrolling down and see a series of topics that were found in the feedback about the companies in the project. If you want to have this view by establishment or by product, that's also possible. In this case, since it's an establishment project, you can click here on About Establishments and see the main topics that were found for each of the physical locations in your project, whether they're from your company or your competitors. Alright? After viewing this data, it's important to have a strategic analysis to understand what my company is doing well and where it's not doing so well, as well as the threats and opportunities I face in relation to my competitors. For that, it's important to access the SWOT analysis on the Yellow Tokens platform. The SWOT analysis from Yellow Tokens shows the strengths and weaknesses of the company being analyzed, in this case, McDonald's, as well as the threats and opportunities. Remember, wherever your competitor is very strong, that's a threat to you. And wherever your competitor isn't doing so well, that's an opportunity for you to win over dissatisfied customers from your competitors. So let's go, in this case here with McDonald's. If we look at the strengths, for example, we see that nothing shows up here in overall satisfaction, price, product, service, or establishment. The SWOT analysis on the Yellow Tokens platform brings these macro pillars, where in overall satisfaction you would see brands or establishments, or in this case products, that have very high satisfaction. But for McDonald's, nothing appears. In price, product, service, and establishment, you would also see brands, establishments, or products with very high satisfaction, which, in the case of McDonald's, is also not present. And the main topics? Even though McDonald's, for example, doesn't have any store or its brand standing out in an entire pillar, there are some items that do stand out. For example, McDonald's West, Randolph Street, fast service, attentive staff, exceptional flavor. These are mentions, specific topics that are strengths of McDonald's. Even though they don't bring satisfaction across an entire pillar, they are important topics to be analyzed. You can also analyze weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. So this will give you an overview of where your competitor is weak, where your competitor is strong, where you are doing very well, and where you need to improve. Alright, and based on all these actions, what do you do with that? It's important that this data leads to actions in your company's daily routine, and Yellow Token is here to help you with that. If you access the action plans, you can view short-term action suggestions, tactical actions, which are created based on the data from the last week. So every week, new actions will be suggested based on the feedback collected the previous week. So in this case, for the company being analyzed, these are the suggested actions for McDonald's. You can also see the suggested monthly actions, which are created based on data from the last month. These actions are more medium term They take a bit longer to execute, so they should be carried out in parallel. It's very important to take activities off the drawing board and put them into practice to ensure that customer feedback is heard in your company. Great! After these actions are carried out, it's expected that there will be an improvement in your customers' satisfaction levels, and you can see this in various CSAT and NPS charts, which are two of the main customer satisfaction metrics on Yellow Token's dashboards. For example, you can access your company's CSAT and compare it with competitors by social network. If you want to have a view by social network of your company and your competitors, that is, the satisfaction level. You can also see, for example, the spontaneous NPS, right? Which is the spontaneous NPS calculated by yellow tokens. Yellow tokens of your company compared with your competitors, broken down by categories such as price, product, service, and establishment. You can also view satisfaction level charts for all the physical locations in your project, whether it's your store, your stores, or your competitors' stores. And you can also see this for products if your project is product-based. Alright, that's it. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.